The iPhone 16 has some problems. I've been using the iPhone 16 for around 60 days now, and at launch, it was missing Apple Intelligence. Well, now it's out, kind of. And after using it for this long, I feel like I can answer some questions about it. So is the iPhone 16 a great phone? Is it worth it over the iPhone 15? And what's missing on the iPhone after using it for 60 days? We'll discuss this all in the 60 days later review of the iPhone 16. This video is sponsored by ESR, the #1 MagSafe brand. And that's because they packed a lot of versatility into a bunch of their MagSafe accessories, but we'll get to that in a bit. I just want to touch on the design very lightly. The ultramarine blue looks really good, although I do regret not going for the black. The new colors pop, and in comparison to the iPhone 16, which looked super boring and muted, these really do stand out. In terms of durability and how it's been holding up so far, I haven't seen any scratches on the body, but the display isn't as tough as we might think. And I did notice a few scuffs on it after 60 days. Moving on to the cameras, the camera is now vertical. Again, we saw this on the iPhone 11, and I like this layout better than the diagonal layout of the more previous iPhones. Apple has added new cameras. I mostly use the 1x lens and RAW, and it has a good amount of dynamic range in the photos. Overall, the camera is really good. I'm loving the pictures coming out of this thing, and it is missing the 48 megapixel ultra wide, but personally, I don't really care too much because I mostly take pictures of my food and my daughter, and I don't really need that wide. And the video is pretty solid too. It has all kinds of modes like 4K cinematic, action mode, and more, but I just like using the regular 1x camera for shooting at 4K 24 frames per second, and I'm good. And it's not grainy in most lightings, and although it still has the iPhone camera look, it's still a great video shooter. I do wish they gave it log and 4K 120, but what's really new is that camera button on the side, and I think it's a gimmick, seriously. While it does have its function, I'm still not used to using it after 60 days straight. Okay, I'm used to using it in the sense that I find that touching the button is now the easiest way to pull up the camera and snap a quick photo, but I think that the other things like zooming and changing the tone, and it's not as intuitive as I thought, and it can be a little bit frustrating. It can easily make you miss the moment, which is not what you want. And to be honest though, I think most people will use it to take a photo and won't really mess around with all the other settings. I think the camera button needs a little bit of work, and it isn't a worthy upgrade in itself. Now, before I get into what really let me down with the iPhone, I want to talk about the ESR MagSafe wallet with Find My functionality. This wallet is designed for people like me that tend to lose their wallets, and that's because this wallet has Find My functionality built right into it. It's the same thing as AirTags, which lets you see its real-time location, play a sound, or receive left behind notifications on your iPhone or other devices whenever you forget your wallet. There's been countless times personally where I've lost my wallet, and I wish that I had something like this in the past, just to make sure that I can always find it whenever I need it and it's not too far behind. It has 2 times stronger magnets, which is more than double the strength of Apple's own MagSafe wallet. And a lot of people may be worried about losing it and it falling off, but with such strong magnets, it'll pretty much never fall off. It attaches seamlessly to the back of your iPhone and holds 1 to 3 cards, which is perfect for when I want to travel a little bit light. This case also features a multi-view stand, meaning you can open out the hinge smoothly to create a stand at multiple angles in portrait or landscape mode. That is so clutch for when you want to watch content and you kind of want to free up your hands and not keep them too busy. It also has a secure grip at the back with a finger loop, meaning you can worry a little bit less about dropping your iPhone, and the loop folds flat whenever you put your phone back in your pocket. It also has a rechargeable battery, which is a plus because some other options actually require you to throw it away after the battery is dead and buy a new one. It charges the battery in about 1.5 hours, and that gives you 3 months of charge. It's overall a really great design. It looks really classy, and I have the caramel brown color and the gray color too. It works on any phone with MagSafe, and ESR is actually having a holiday promotion from 11/11 to November 20th with discounts of up to 20%. So you can click the link in the description down below to make a purchase today. Let's talk about the battery. I think the battery life is horrible. On more than one occasion, after using the phone for basic things such as web browsing or texting and maybe a call or two, the iPhone gets around 20%, and I have to charge it. And this was using beta iOS and without beta. This is usually usually when I'm connected to Wi-Fi, and it's even worse on 5G. It'll die around 12 p.m. if I take a lot of pictures. Seriously though, 3.5 hours of screen on time as an average is atrocious for a phone in 2024. Now the iPhone 16 features the A18 chip. There is a reason why they added it, and that's to power AI. That's not fully released yet, which is crazy. But Apple did release the first parts of Apple Intelligence, and you're able to use Apple Intelligence to really refine your writing experience, use Siri in a more intelligent way, and remove objects from images in the photo apps and more. Out of all the features that they released so far, I think the writing tools are probably my most used. I use them on a daily basis. I find that it comes in really clutch when I'm writing emails to brands. I can make my writing sound a little bit more professional or friendly depending on who I'm speaking with. It's really added a nice touch that's pretty seamless and feels really integrated into the iPhone experience. It makes communication overall better. And they also did a great job with notification summaries on the lock screen. Essentially, it just summarizes your notifications instead of needing to go through each notification, especially when you're getting roasted in the group chat. Now, other things like camera control won't be officially coming until December, but I've had a chance to use it with the beta version, and it's pretty good so far. I have no complaints. It allows you to use the camera button and look up things, kind of like a Google reverse image search, and I won't use it a lot day to day, but it could be useful when I'm traveling in another country, I don't speak the language, and I need something translated. Another major problem that I've had with it is 120 Hertz. Now, is an issue that a lot of people are split down the middle on. On one hand, I think the majority of users have no clue what 120 Hertz is, but I think for the price that we're paying to own these phones, the 16, we should at least get 120, and if not, then 90, because it's just a feature on budget Android phones, and for what I'm paying for, I need something a little bit better than 60 Hertz. Now look, the iPhone 16 is missing a lot, especially what Apple promised. It is the first time in the history of Apple releases where the iPhone's main selling point was just not there at launch. But AI wasn't here last year, and when you compare this phone to other phones, it's still better and overall a solid phone. However, if you're looking at other phones like the iPhone 15 and don't care about AI or new cameras or the weird camera button at the side, then just get the iPhone 15. If I was to give this phone a rating, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. And maybe I'm gonna review it again in the future when they release those other Apple Intelligence features. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. Let me know what you think of the iPhone 16, or if you have any questions down below in the comments. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and see you in the next one. Peace.